My Milo get me hype.
Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counting me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Gotta give a round of applause. Welcome back to another episode of RBO. Your boy Vaughn is here live. And we got the finals here, y'all. We are finally at the end of the road of the NBA season, the NBA Finals. Before we get started, though, I want you to like, subscribe, share this video with anybody that's an NBA fan, basketball fan, or a WNBA fan, because we do a little bit of everything. But tonight, it's all about the NBA Finals. We got the Spurs matching up against the Knicks. Also, before we get started, before I dive into that, I want you guys to look down low. We have a link to become a member with the R2L family. And with that link, you get access to these chats on Instagram where we go crazy. You know, you get live updates when the Browns traded Miles Garrett. The chat was going crazy for 3 hours straight. And then right after that, AJ Brown got traded. The chat went even crazier. So you definitely want to get into that because we have all different sports from boxing to NFL, NBA, baseball. And also on top of that, we have a lot of different shows that are also linked down low that I want you guys to check out as well. That cover a plethora of different sports from college to just like I just said in the chats, man. Baseball, boxing, football, you name it. Definitely become a member of the family. We just got a new chat as well, and that's the soccer chat. And that is something that is very interesting, if you ask me, because soccer is a very, very big sport and it's very intense. So definitely tap into the family because it's getting deeper and deeper, and we all we do is have fun, and it can get heated with those debates. But let's go ahead and let's talk about what's going on with this finals. Before we got a special guest backstage waiting to come on, give his spiel. Before we go get him on stage though, let's talk about quickly that game 7 with the Spurs and the OKC. OKC fall to the Spurs in game 7 at home, and SGA put on his cape and tried his hardest to will his team to victory. A lot of people say, you know, I'm happy he finally started just getting buckets. And I can agree with that a lot. You know, a lot of times he was foul baiting, but I feel like throughout that series, he was truly learning how to be great. You know, I feel like he's already a really good player, but greatness comes when you consistently play at a high level and you win consistently. And I feel like that series was something that he needed to grow. He needed to know, you know, you might gotta get a little stronger. You need to know that at pivotal moments you have to come through. You dropped 35. However, in the fourth quarter when it was time to get money, you did not produce for your team. And I was one guy when I was speaking to one of my guys about the game. I said SJ gonna have to come out here and at least drop 40 or 50 for them to win. And he was 5 points short, but it was a lot of moments during that stretch at the end. I felt like he could have taken over. Shame on Chet. He did not show up at all. Chet Holmgren, he did not show up at all. Only shooting 2 times. After getting dunked on by Wemby early in the game, it just seemed like his heart left his body. He was a lifeless person out there. You forgot he was even on the floor. He barely got rebounds. He barely did anything. So OKC has a lot of thinking to do this offseason, from contracts of Hartenstein, Lou Dort. Chet Holmgren is getting a lot of money, so he's gonna have to dig deep and be a better player. So on the Spurs side, we had Wemby leading his troops in there, and his supporting cast showed up. And that was pretty much the story of the whole series. Whose supporting cast showed up more? And in that final game, the Spurs, they did what they did, man. Vassell showing up. Champagne hitting 6 threes, dropping 20. Then you had Dylan Harper doing what he do. And then, Stephon Castle is an up and rising star. He is coming into his zone, and I can see him definitely being a top five guard in this league one day. Let's get his offensive game a little better, and ooh, watch out. So this Spurs team is a dynasty waiting to happen. They're growing and growing and growing, trying to get better, and I think they are in a great spot. So I just wanted to give a shout out real quick to the Spurs because they did a good job defeating the champs. But one thing I do want to say, shout out to you, my boy. Appreciate you for being on, man. Definitely, I appreciate all the love. You know what I'm saying? Come through again because we're gonna be covering this finals a lot. You feel what I'm saying? So enough of the Spurs right now. We're gonna dig a little deeper, but I got a special guest on here. I got a special guest on here. You feel what I'm saying? And he's a Knicks fan. And he been telling me, I've been asking him to get on the stream, once they already, made it to the finals. He's like, no, 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 no. I want to get on before the finals start. I want to get on early. I don't want to get on after we just win. I want to get on in the beginning. And I can respect that. But without further ado, I'd like to welcome my brother, Cardo, to the stage. Yes,
Shut up.
sir.
What's going
How
on,
you
brother?
doing, brother? How you feeling today?
Immaculate.
I think you muted.
Not a, pretty worry free. Hello? Hold on now. Hello?
Looks like Cardo's having a little technical difficulties.
Technical
You
difficulties
know,
today.
we gonna let him work through that right quick. You might have to leave and come back real quick. That might be the best thing to do. But while we wait on Cardo, let's dive a little bit into the series. We do know the Knicks are playing the Spurs, and the Knicks have been sweeping their way through the East as of the last couple of series. First series was a wake-up call against the Hawks when the Hawks took a 2-1 lead, and then after that, the Knicks have just been on the road. I have to give a shout out to their coach Mike Brown. He's definitely
Are we
made the
good to
most
go?
out of this team and made. Oh, we have him back. How we
Are
looking?
we good to go? Can we hear?
Still can't hear nothing from you, brother.
Oh man, oh man.
Maybe take your headphone out.
Let's try that. You know,
Oh, it's me again. Okay, Cardo.
there
I'm
we
gonna go
go. Can
ahead
you hear
and
anything
and,
now?
and and hop out right quick. What I want you to do is I just want you to talk about how your guys made it through the East and what makes you proud about that.
Okay, so I lost him at the end there, but what I will say is I can confidently say we're gonna win. You see my name, Knicks and 4. Might be getting a bit ahead of myself, but they said that the last couple series. So here we are. What we 2-1 in the season, if you count the cup. I just if we talk about the series,
Yes,
they're
sir.
burnt out. I think they're running on fumes and a lot of inexperience as well.
Okay, okay. So you
Welcome
talking
back.
about the Spurs here?
Hold on. Now I can't hear you.
Here we go. These cell phones, man. I tell you.
There we go.
All right. So
Should
I'm
be
not
ringing
sure
through.
exactly what you said, but talk about just
Wait a
your
minute.
East run. Talk about your Eastern Conference run. How you guys had a wake up call against the Hawks. Let me know what changed for you guys? Nothing from me.
Nah, it's going in and out.
Just talk about your Eastern Conference
Let's go
run.
default. There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Perfect, perfect. You want to talk about the run?
Yes.
Um,
Talk about the Eastern
Come on,
Conference
let's
run.
talk about it. We led with Ket early on, phenomenal. And then you see we did on the back end, JB all day.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I mean, it's different routes we're gonna take in this finals. We get game one, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Okay, okay, okay. So let me ask you this. One thing that a lot of people say is, you guys haven't really been tested. You went against a Hawks team that shouldn't even been in a series with you guys. Then you went up against a Philly team that had an injured Embiid, and then you went up against a Cavaliers team that no one really believed in. To be honest, they got past the Pistons because the Pistons just didn't have enough offensively, and they're inexperienced as well. But the Cavs and y'all were kind of in the same boat. With like, yo, who's gonna show up? And you guys showed
Absolutely.
up. So how do you feel about your guys? Because over there in the Spurs, you got a couple dogs over there. How do you feel about going up against them young dogs?
Before we even go there, I'm gonna ask you this: who did the Spurs play before they got to OKC?
They played Portland, and they played a Timberwolves team that had an injured Ant Man.
Interesting. In those series went what?
I think the Portland went 5, I believe,
Okay.
and then Minnesota went 6.
I mean, if you ask me, we both had an easy run and aside from the conference finals.
Okay, okay,
Would you
okay.
agree?
Well, what I say is I do think that the injury bug worked in the favor of the Spurs. As far as when they going against the Minnesota, their best player was hobbled, and then against OKC, their second best player, arguably their third best player as of now, was hobbled. Was just not there. So
Right.
but that's the name of the game. Most teams that make it,
Absolutely.
they get a little injury luck.
Yeah, for
So
sure. No,
so
I wouldn't say it was an easy run though. What's what I will say. It might be looked at because we were blowing teams out, but Cavaliers didn't have any real injuries. I mean, if you want to say their continuity might have been off, okay. Wasn't nobody hurt.
that's true. Okay, so y'all did see this team in the NBA Cup championship. And in that game, y'all defeated them 124 to 113. And I want to just point out a couple of things, that I felt was quite interesting. Now, we do have to remember, Wemby did come off the bench. He was still coming off injury. So you didn't get a starting Wemby. Okay? So we got to
No,
just throw that out there, just so people
for
know.
sure.
But in two games that y'all played them, not it's just two games I'm talking about here. In the NBA Cup, y'all out rebounded them 42 to 59. Now, with that being said, do you think you guys can dominate on the glass against this team?
Absolutely. And I think if you ask me, I think Mike Brown is gonna go back to the cat at the top of the key. Wemby's gonna have to be there. So a lot of shots that go up in that process, we're gonna see a lot of rebounds without Wemby in the paint. So depending on how we run it, you might see a Mitch and we'll get to that probably. You're gonna Mitch is playing. Mitch Robinson. If we not getting to it, I'm letting you know now. Mitch Robinson's playing. So if we run those two guys, and not even that, if you watch those games, you see OG playing a lot of Wemby as well, doing a lot of Alex Caruso and with Wemby's. I think that we'll be perfectly fine if Cat stays at the top of the key. We'll mix it up some. I think we should start like that just to guarantee game one. Get him out of the paint, get him off of that. Cat couldn't do it, you know. So I think we'll be fine.
So you know what I think. I don't think they're gonna put him on Cat. Me personally, I think what they're gonna do is because even times when y'all played them, they tend to put Wemby on the guy that they would want to shoot. Like they wouldn't mind shooting threes. And when I think about y'all starting five, the one person that comes to mind is Josh Hart. So I think Josh Hart is gonna have to play. Shout out to J-Mo. Look, nah, they letting Sean Penny guard Cat and Wemby is roaming. Also, like Javon said, Wemby doesn't have a minute restriction anymore. So I think Josh Hart is gonna have to repeat what he did, what he's been doing, shooting them threes against the Cavs. He's gonna have to he got to shoot them because when you're left open, that's how Caruso ate. That's how a lot of guys. Jalen Williams is hitting threes because Wemby and I think that's one thing that can hurt the Spurs in this series. Wemby tends to roam a lot, and he tends to gravitate towards the ball a lot, and he tends to leave that guy wide open. So Josh Hart is going to have to hit these shots. How confident are you in Josh Hart doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very confident in Josh Hart. Not only him, whoever the shoe may foot, because whoever the however that saying goes. But long story short, it may be laundry Shamet, depending on what we got going on. To be honest, Josh Hart know he could get benched in the second, depending on how his play is. So if you put Shamet in that situation, if Josh is struggling, yeah, I wouldn't mind him shooting that three. We got options here. Deuce McBride as well, depending on what's going on. If Josh Hart's hot, he know it's hot. Mike Brown is doing a good thing getting him out of there when he's not hot. So, and like I say, Laundry's playing good defense. And he's
Okay,
hitting the three. Very good. What it was a 91% last series. I'm not expecting that. If you give us 50 this series, it's still fine.
talking about laundry, Shemet.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay, okay, okay. So let me know what's your prediction for the series.
Let me see it. Knicks and four. We running through this whole thing. We
Yeah.
running through it. I mean, we on a tear right
Oh
now.
my
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it rocky. Like that's what it is. This is what we doing. This is what we come to do. Like I say,
Oh, so
let us get game one. I think the stars it's gonna be too bright out there when they get to Madison Square. We win game one. We definitely trying to get game two, and they ain't gonna be ready for Madison Square Garden whenever they gotta make it there. But I don't see it happening. They need to grow some more.
okay, so who do you think? How do you think? What do you think about Brunson? I know in the past we spoke and you said you want to see Brunson playing against a more elite defense. This will be the most elite defense that he will play against. Now I do know in the season when y'all took a L in overtime, I think double overtime, he
Mhm.
did drop 61. You know,
Absolutely.
one
Yeah,
game
absolutely
against the
did.
team.
I don't know who was
So,
checking them then. Maybe somebody was hurt. I don't know.
but y'all do a good job at like getting good matchups off of him with y'all picks
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
pick and roll. And you know what we did in that game you talking about? There was a lot of ISO and De'Aaron Fox. That's who we picked on. No different from what we did to James Harden.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think that this is gonna be quite interesting to see how the Spurs defend y'all because against OKC, I felt like even against I wouldn't say the same for the Timberwolves, but for OKC, for sure, it was easy to load up on SGA because he had to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He every time the offense was set up, it's pretty much through him. A lot of times when they try to set it up through Hartenstein doesn't even face the basket. He has his back to the basket, which also makes it easy. You don't have guys that can create, it makes it easier for defenses to play you. Now it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting to see how they play y'all because y'all do a lot of right now. Y'all don't rely just on Brunson to what I'm saying, just ball handle. Like in the past, like last couple years, it was just like Brunson do everything, and a lot of people spoke on that saying he dominated the ball too much. But right now, with Cat out there, open up the offense, being at the top of the key, it did open up your offense a lot. Now, do you expect, because Mikal Bridges has been on a scorcher, do you expect him to keep this up?
Long as you stay inside. He'll be fine. Just stay D Wade, baby. We good. Just stay right in there. He gonna hit a couple perimeter J's, but I like what he's doing because I feel like that's it. He's finding his spots. You know, when you play, you find your spots. And I like him on defense too. They call him Wingstop now. If you ain't know, him and OG. I'm just putting it out there.
Nobody has challenged him yet defensively. Nobody has tried to pick on him. I feel like this Spurs team, these young guys. Now I agree. They tend to show their age in these games. Even
Yes, they do.
against OKC in the fourth quarter, OKC came back because they was turning the rock over. They just didn't capitalize on their turnovers. Do you think that Jalen Brunson will get picked on in this series? And how do you think that's going to work?
Not at all. And let me ask you this: by picked on, what would you say?
I would say like they gonna put him in every action. Like Castle got the ball. I'm trying to get Jalen Brunson on me. You know, Dylan Harper come and get the ball. I'm gonna have to. I want him on me. What do you think? Like,
I don't. One thing about that, I think we have too many wing defenders for that to work. At some point, it's just. I mean, they're gonna have to make the shot. Let me put it like this: do they have enough true ballers that's gonna jump up and make that shot, or are they gonna try to drive? Because there'll be somebody at the rim waiting, or before they even get there, because we understand the situation. You got guys that feed in on our team. Josh Hart, he's already said it. I play defense. Is what I do. This is what I do. So the captain is Jalen, and they know he ain't playing no defense. We're not like other teams. We just gonna let it slide. They're gonna work around these screens. If not, Jalen might feel confident enough to check this guy. We've been there. It's not that deep. Other teams could have exposed them. I heard that a lot during the Cavs series. I heard that a lot during this series. That series hasn't happened.
okay, okay, okay.
We had some
Mhm.
bigger dogs out of Atlanta until we figured it out. We had to figure it out.
So you think y'all figured it out?
Mm. When the last time we lost a game?
Hey, that's true. A lot of people
I'm
say
just
the East
saying.
weak though. A lot of people
Oh
say the
man.
East weak. That's what they say
Yeah,
these
no,
days.
that hey, look, trust me, I've heard it all. But before we played these series, it wasn't sweet. Oh, y'all got to worry about this. Nah, you see, they just did that to fill. Oh, huh? Oh, okay. And then when we sweep them, now, they was sweep for it though. How? Didn't nobody get hurt? It was still the same team.
Yeah.
But I guess we just that good. We making history, and we ain't even talked about that. But the team's been so sweet, you got no choice but to make history. Supposed to dominate the teams we playing if they so sweet, and did we not dominate them?
Yeah,
Did we
definitely
not set a
dominated them.
historic record dominating them? So I get where everybody's coming from. Like y'all ain't meet y'all match yet. Okay, I can feel that. But what I will say is, be the same people that come back and be like, yeah, y'all did that. Y'all did that. No
So what's
excuses.
the main reason why y'all winning this series? What's the reason why y'all winning this series?
Um, our dominance right now. I mean, do you mean we're in a situation where we're rolling? Anybody that watches ball, what is this? Ball is only real ball is only. Anybody that
Yes,
knows
sir.
ball can see like, damn, they look like that team out there in Golden State at that point. Might not be the same characters involved, and that might be why they hate it. Very, but it looks close, very akin, you know. So just the dominance, I say full, but a gentleman's sweep is also very provocative to me. I like the way that looks as well.
Okay, so you think I was about to dog them? Nah, listen. I'm not
Yeah,
as high on
I do.
on the Spurs as everybody else is. I do think they are a really good team right now. They have exceeded expectations, but like you said, man, they had a little luck on their side as far as the matchups they had. I feel like the only reason why OKC series went seven is because of their youth. They went out 15 donut one game and ended up losing by double digits that game. Like so, I feel you though. The way y'all offense is clicking right now. it's just gonna be like, just like you say, it's the bright stages for them. It's gonna be the bright stage for your guys as well. Only person who I
Absolutely.
believe in, and that's Brunson. That's my guy. I'm a huge Brunson
Understood.
fan, and I already gave Mikal Bridges his props. He done came through. he done been balling. I had to give him his props. But
Yes,
big
sir.
shout out to Mike Brown for doing what he's doing with Cat, because I think that has been the biggest reason why y'all are playing the way y'all feel. Basketball is all about feeling a part of it. Brunson dominating the ball. Sometimes guys can get iced out. Guys can get put in positions where they're not really comfortable in, or they just taking bad shots. But when the ball is flowing and everybody's getting touches, everybody's involved, and that's what it looks like going on right now in New York. Let's talk about who's your X factor for the series.
Mm. I'm gonna have to go with OG.
Okay,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, between and let me clarify this. OG and my boy Mitch Robinson. I can't leave him out there.
that's what I
Mitch
thought you was gonna
Robinson
say.
must be there. That's like the sneaky X factor, but the realistic X factor for me would be OG with his shooting percentage this postseason, and not only that, his defensive efficiency. I would be remiss not to go with him.
Okay, okay. I like those picks. I like those picks because OG is a guy that I can see them putting on Wimby at times for sure, because he's like a Kawhi Leonard out there, as far as defensive wise. And one thing I'll say about y'all versus OKC, you guys got more guys that can do things offensively. Like I said, based off your offense, it's not like SGA has to set everybody up, or Brunson has to set everybody up. It's a
Right.
free flowing offense right now with a guy like Brunson out there still, who's like a SGA. So this is going to be a big test, not just for you guys, but also for the Spurs.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
talk about Victor Wembanyama. Like, what do you guys got for that?
We're gonna go down the list. Cat might not do much, but a lot of OG and a lot of Mitch. A lot. No, I'm not sure about Cat. But we're gonna go with a lot of healthy dosage of Mitch Robinson and a healthy dosage of OG, and just get him out of position. Keep him out of position. Keep a body on him. That's the main thing. He's not a big playmaker. He wants to make the plays. It's not a big playmaker. Take him out of his position. It's what we've been doing all season. So I'm sure we're reading up on it and also watching what he's been doing this postseason to kind of get a feel for exactly who we're going to throw at him. But I guarantee you by halftime, we might have something else going, depending on what we see from him first game and what he wants to do.
Yeah,
But these are a lot of things. San Antonio is not good playing from behind, so it might be something that we don't necessarily do to him. Let's just get up and make them have to come back, and then you can kind of take him out of the situation because then it's just a one band show.
right. So, like you said, the Spurs aren't a team that, you know, turns you over a lot. I mean, I feel like it worked in their favor against OKC, like I said, because their offense was kind of predictable with SGA having to lead the charge. You got guys like Case and Wallace out there trying to, step up and be that guy. Caruso, I feel like even McCain, I feel like those guys did what they supposed to do. It's just guys like Chet and J Dub wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But in the three games y'all
Sure.
played them, y'all only had 35 turnovers total, which is about 11.8 per game, which isn't a lot to be honest. So it seems like you guys do know how to play against this team. It's just gonna be interesting to see because I'm not gonna lie. The one thing I love about Wemby is he's a fierce competitor. I don't like some of the antics. The skipping press conferences, the advocating for MVP, all this, all that. But I do like the
Right.
fact that he really wants to win, and you can tell. And he gets his troops fired up, and I just love the leadership that he has, in that regard. So I do think it's going to
Absolutely.
be a fight for you guys. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a gentleman sweep or a sweep. I am going with you guys to win. You know, just
Oh
because
yeah.
not just because I'm a Brunson guy. I don't want to be biased here. I just really think if you guys come to play and play y'all game, only way I can see y'all losing if y'all pull a Chet out there. Mikael Bridges turn to Chet. you know, and things like that happen. And cat. But I think the fact that Mike Brown has opened up the offense for him and isn't forcing him to be that big man down low in the paint, a bruiser. He's allowing him to be that
Exactly.
skilled guy. He's allowing him to be a skilled big man, that's what he is, one of the most skilled big men ever. And I think that is going to be a challenge for the Spurs because putting guys like Champagnie on them. Yeah, if Cat don't use his body and all that, that's gonna be an easy cover for him. But if he gets aggressive, even Cat is good at getting to the basket from that 3-point line. He'll pump fake that three and he'll take some dribbles and he'll get to that 3-point line. I mean, he'll get
Absolutely.
to that rim. So it's gonna be a really good series, I think. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep though. I think they're gonna at least get one or two against y'all. But
It may be one.
this first game is definitely gonna be pivotal, So all
Yes,
right,
it
man,
is.
we got, you said what you gotta say. You got anything else you want to say? About the series.
No, I mean I'm prepared for tomorrow. Mark my words. Game one is ours.
Okay, okay. Well, if that's all. Well, go ahead and give me your last words right quick.
Appreciate the platform. Nice chatting with you today. It's about the Knicks in four. I see y'all tomorrow wherever they play at in San Antonio. I don't know the name of their wherever establishment is. Sucks that Worm wasn't here. The glorious fan of theirs. Well, we know he didn't want to talk to me, and I wasn't even going to be too brutal. But however, respectfully, Knicks in four.
It's called the Frost
Stop the
Bank
cap.
Center. That's what it's called. The Spurs Arena.
What is it called?
The Frost Bank Arena.
Whoo! There's gonna be some cold dudes out there tomorrow.
Well, man, here's my last word. Shout out to the whole network. You know, everybody's doing their thing, and it's always a good thing. Make sure you become a member. You tap in with all the different shows, down low, link down low. Shout out to the Spurs though, because they gave up their associate head coach, which is Sean Sweeney, who is now the Orlando Magic's head coach. He helped turn around that defense, and I think he will help do the same with us as well. Get us back to playing our brand of basketball. Shout out to the Nets. I don't know if we win it right now against the Marlins. We lost yesterday. Hopefully we can bounce back and get a dub. But this is gonna be a showdown. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be great, I think. Oh, before you go, shout out Brunson right quick, man. Give Brunson some love right quick, man.
We gotta shout out Big Batty Brunson, man. That's my dog. The 6'1" wonder, just killing stuff. You know, not actually killing stuff. There's a point guard. There's not too much I can say about him, but can't nobody stay with that man. And he shot you once, especially for a lefty. And then he be in that right side bag now, killing them as well. Man, can't say enough. But he understands the mission. So, I ain't gonna gas him up too much because we're good to go.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, you heard it from my boy Cardo. Real ball is on it. Hey, the NBA Finals is tomorrow. That's not only the only reason why it's gonna be a good day tomorrow. It's your boy birthday tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you might get a special
Ooh!
live RBO birthday special during the game. You feel what I'm saying? Just stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be back. It's the finals, man. And real ball is gonna ball.
Sir, run up that hype, y'all.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.